everyone, my name is Julia. I'm a CELTA trainer and this is my CELTA series. In the first video, we talked about CELTA interviews and what they are and how you can prepare for it. And then this one's going to be about your next step. So after the interview, once you've been accepted onto the course, what do you do? How do you prepare? How do you make sure you're as ready as you can be to start with the course? So let's get into it. Let's take a look at what's going to happen. Right, so how do you prepare for a CELTA course? What do you do and what do you avoid? So let's go. The first thing your center sends you is something called a pre-course task, and it covers the following. There are 5 sections and they explore learners, teachers, their relationship, and then your teaching context. Language awareness, so like how well do you know the language, and then language analysis. Language skills, which there are 4 of those. Planning lessons and knowing your resources and where to find things. And then developing your teaching skills. So like things you can do post-CELTA, ways you can go, different areas you might explore. And the interesting thing is that this comes from this pre-course task, but now this comes from the CELTA handbook and it's exactly the same. So the main reason for you to look at the pre-course task is to kind of familiarize yourself with the topics that we will be exploring, kind of get yourself in the right mindset. It's also a nice way of self-reflecting and understanding what questions you have at this point, and then making sure you get the answers throughout the course. Now, the next big thing is planning your life around CELTA. So you have some time before the course starts to start and think what your life will look like during the course. It's only just 4 weeks, but it's as intensive as it can be. And as a proof of that, here's what Cambridge have to say about it. So it's a minimum of 120 contact hours. So that's you being at the center, you working with tutors and with your peers. But then on top of that, Cambridge suggests that there is a minimum of 80 hours, which you spend on your own, working on your assignments, again, on your lesson prep, on any resubmissions that you have, any research that you still need to do, and all that kind of stuff. So you come home, you have your day at the center, you come home, and you still do more because you've got to catch up with everything that's coming. And this is what a week of CELTA is. This is the real thing. We've got a CELTA course that started today, and this is their timetable for the next week. So week 2 of CELTA. As you can see, there are input sessions almost every day, 9 till about 12. Depends on the session really, because they're not all the same, but they all start at 9 and then the trainees are free at about 12. There are 2 of them every day with like a short break, like 10-15 minute break in between those sessions. The trainees have to be there on time. They can't be late. They can't miss those sessions. They have to be there. Now on Tuesday, there are no input sessions, but there are observations. Those are experienced teachers' observations, and that's when our trainees go into like real classrooms and they get to sit down and observe a real lesson, which is a 2-hour lesson at our school. And again, they have to be there, and they do have like little observation tasks, so they can't just be there in the room doing their own stuff. They have to watch the lesson to be able to complete the observation task. They don't have to do both, so they either do 9 till 11 or 11 till 1. Now, after that, there is like a lunch break of about an hour. And then from 1 till 2, we lesson plan together, and we always plan for the following day. So like if you're teaching on Tuesday, you're planning on Monday. If you're teaching on Wednesday, you're planning on Tuesday, that kind of thing. So you plan for about an hour, and then there are lessons. So from 2 till 4, it's either 2 or 3 people teaching, depends on the day, depends on the course, depends on the lesson. When you're not teaching, you're observing. And again, the same thing as here, you can't just be doing your own thing. You get an observation task, you need to complete it, and then it will be used in feedback session, which comes after it. So 4 till 5, we give feedback to the teachers who taught on that day. And if you're not teaching, you give your feedback to them. So again, you have to be watching the lesson. You have to know what was going on. And then after that, people get home and they need to work more. Because that week, there are 3 assignments to work on. there are 2 submissions and there's 1 new assignment set, which again, assignment 3 is submitted on Monday, but it might be a resubmission. So if it is, you still need to work on that, and then you get other assignments coming. So it is quite intense. With that being said, you might find this stuff useful. So the first thing is, before the course starts, make sure you have all the information you need. So make sure you know how to get to the center from the place where you live. Double check if there's dress code. This depends on the country, this depends on the culture, on the school as well. For example, my current center, IH Newcastle, we're very chill. Like, it's all just common sense. My school in Ukraine, we weren't allowed to wear jeans. Just double check, just to make sure you know what's happening and how things work. Another thing, on your first day, create a group chat with other trainees. They are your best friends now. They're your family. You will see those people more than anyone else in your life for the next 4 weeks. You need to have their numbers. You need to know how you can get in touch with them. Emergencies happen. Mental breakdowns happen. So you need to stay together with them. So a group chat is a great thing. Thank me later for this one. Next one is more of a self-care one, really. But I can't stress enough how important it is that you do it. So make sure you drink, you eat, and you sleep. Okay, so get yourself a water bottle. Make sure that you use your lunch breaks to actually get some food and not just using that time to catch up on assignments or lesson planning, whatever. And please, please, please say no to your all-nighters. Don't pull those. There is no way that you can stay up all night working on your lesson plan and then be in the right place to teach your lesson the next day. Be kind to yourself, which takes me to the next point. Don't overwork yourself at the weekend. Yes, it is an intensive course. Yes, there are many things to do. Yes, there are those 80 hours that you need to be doing your stuff during. But make sure that you have some time at the weekend to take your mind off CELTA and just do life, okay? Meet up with friends, go out within reason, but just, again, because your brain needs some processing time, okay? You can't be doing CELTA nonstop for 4 weeks and not go crazy. And another one is more about time management, but make sure that every day you have at least 15 to 20 minutes when you just look through your notes from that day, through handouts, and look at the feedback that you get from your tutor. We need to see you making progress from lesson to lesson. So it's just nice to refresh what was said to you and your action points and the things that you can do well, and then just act on that feedback in the next lesson you teach. And now the last thing is about some books that you might want to get before the course begins. So here's my list of what I think you will need and stuff that is useful in my opinion. So the first one is a good grammar reference book. I always recommend this one, Practical English Usage by Michael Swan. You might have another one. If you've been teaching for a while now, you might get your favorite book. So yeah, just use that one. Your center might suggest one. It's just having a book that you can go to if you have a grammar question. You will need this for when you teach your grammar lesson or lessons if you teach more than one. You will need this for some of your assignments, so it's just nice to have one. And then even after CELTA, you will need a good grammar book that you can trust, that you can use in planning your lessons and like answering the questions that your students have. So this one is my go-to. If you have some other ones, feel free to just write them down in the comment section. I think everyone could benefit from that. So yeah, there is that. Another one, you can find it useful if you're not sure about like terminology and concept and all the funny words that we use on CELTA and pretty much any other teacher training course. If you read books on methodology or whatever, this is a good place to go to and make sure you understand what they mean when they say different things. Literally just a dictionary of terms and concepts, just as it says on the cover. Another one is to understand your learners better. So if you don't have that much knowledge of other languages, which is totally fine, this book will be your go-to. So they speak about different languages and typical mistakes that speakers of those languages make when they speak English, and they explain why they make those mistakes. So they take Arabic, for example, and then they give you a brief overview, and then they speak about pronunciation issues, grammar issues, vocab issues, and they explain like, oh, they find these sounds difficult to pronounce because blah, blah, blah. Or this grammar concept is challenging because it doesn't exist in Arabic, or whatever. This book could be good for your assignments, because there will be an assignment where you need to focus on one learner, their mistakes, try to investigate where those mistakes come from and all that kind of stuff. So this is a great book. You can also, again, use it later if you go and teach abroad, so like to prepare yourself for what's coming at you at that new country, for your grammar lessons and for some assignments as well. This is a great one, especially for like tenses. So they give you the literal timelines that you can use to explain it better to students, and they also give you specific questions that you might ask them to make sure they understand you and they know what you're talking about. This is great to get you in the right mindset of like what a good concept question is, what a timeline should show, and all that kind of stuff. So a great place to start. Can't recommend enough. Wonderful. And for your own language awareness, a book called About Language by Scott Thornbury. This one's very practical. So he gives you tasks. He makes you reflect on the difficulties and challenges. It's not as much teaching you language, but it's kind of understanding what's problematic about it and how you can make life easier for yourself and your students. So yeah, another good one. And yeah, that's basically it. That's it. I don't really recommend doing any more than that before your CELTA. Don't read a million books on methodology before the course. Don't think that you'll get a head start. You'll get all the information you need. Just get some rest. Plan your time. Plan what you need to do. Think about that month. And then, yeah, if you do that, that should be more than enough. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you think I missed anything, add in the comment section. So what else do you think people need to do before the CELTA course? If you have some questions, just let me know. Let's also just continue building this network of teachers where we can exchange our experience and learn from each other. So add me on LinkedIn, follow me on Instagram. I'll be happy to hear from you. And yeah, see you guys next week. Bye.